come and get a little taste. Make it hot, bass drop to the break. Make it hot, drum beating up the cake. Make it hot, come and get a little taste. Make it hot, come and get a little taste. Make it hot, bass drop to the break. Make it hot, drum beating up the cake. Make it hot, come and get it.
Yo, what's up? It's Coach Mickey, and I am here for episode 8, part 2. And in this episode, we are going to talk about the years 2013, 2014, 2015, and of course, what's going on right now. Okay, so in 2013, that was the year that Billy decided to go and pursue a professional dance career in Los Angeles. So I actually had to move to LA with Billy, and Courtney and Ariel pretty much took over the studio. I had told them both that if they wanted to, shut it down and do what they wanted to do, they didn't have to. It wasn't like I was expecting them to take on the responsibility of taking on the studio forever, but I just knew I wasn't going to be there, so it was up to them whatever they wanted to do with the studio. So the two of them really pushed for the kids to go to nationals that year. Courtney kept her tradition of do another Shine Down routine, and she did Devour, which was one of the most epic routines that I think she's ever choreographed. That was also the year that Ariel did a really good contemporary piece that was gorgeous. Tears of an Angel was one of my favorites that's ever been done. And then that was the year that Autumn and Tiana and Olivia were itty bitty, is what we call it, and they won a national championship that year, and it was pretty amazing because they were all like under the age of like 8, or they were 8. That also was the year that the Alma studio like just literally blew up, and we had probably about 35 students. We went from about 10 the year before and blew up to about 35. So in 2014, I came back mid-season, and we had lost quite a few dancers because there was controversy once again, but this time it wasn't with the kids, it was mainly with the parents, and a few of them left and went to our rival studio, and we just kind of pushed on with it and let it go, and focused more on just getting the kids into this new concept of creating an elite company. She had created the itty bitty routine and some of our other nationals routines by combining the top kids from Alma with the top kids from Scranton. So that was we called it the nationals team. We hadn't really created the elite company yet until this year. It was really, really a tough year for them. That was the year also that they went for the first time to StarQuest and to Talent on Parade, and had no idea what they were getting themselves into by attending a real dance competition, where we were going up against like Powerhouse and Darcy's and some Above the Bar, they're amazing, and Fusion and all that kind of stuff. And it was really, really shocking for them because they actually placed in the top 5. They weren't expecting that at all, and I think that loss of those dancers that she had that went to our rival studio really tore Courtney up. I think it still tears her up because she really loved those kids and loved those dancers and hated to lose them over parents' own personal drama issues. But that sometimes happens. So, sad thing, you lose a lot of dancers because parents are jealous over another dancer, or they don't like the way you run your policy, or they just have a personal conflict with you. You just don't get along. And sometimes kids keep dancing, which I'm glad that those particular girls did, but there's sometimes that they never get on the dance floor again. So it's sad, but we have to focus on who we have and moving forward, and that's what we did in 2014. Okay, so now we are in the year 2015. This was last year's season. Last year's season was all about restoring Burlingame. We had lost a lot of our Burlingame seniors due to the boys needing to play athletics and focusing on that, or over personal conflict that was going on within the kids. I think what literally happened was it was a sad loss. We lost some really core kids that had been with us for a long time, and it wasn't the same as it had been in the past, but the ones that did stick with us, we really focused on making it about it being a growing year and rebuilding and refocusing on what direction we're going to take the studio. I fully came back on as a coach, and it was me, Courtney, and it was Madeline's senior year, so we wanted to really focus, like get all the negativity out that had started at the beginning of the year, and just focus on it being Madeline's senior year, along with Destiny, who was another graduating senior that year. Last year was also a really 2015 was also kind of a redemption year for a lot of our kids, and for Courtney. Like I said, she had still been really heartbroken and crushed over losing a certain core of her kids. And this is like in the fall. A couple of our kids that went to school with these other kids are come to practice, and they would be really upset, and they would start crying, and they started saying that they're being bullied about quitting the dance spot, that they should go to the other studio, and that they're being pressured and told that Courtney's a terrible coach, and that she's mean, and that the dance spot is failing. And so, you know, she and I kept seeing this happening over and over again. Of course, we would tell them, you know, and tell the parents, we're sorry, you know, there's not really anything we can do about these kids saying what they're saying. And I mean, it got to the point where we couldn't even focus on dance, that all they were was terrified about going up against this other team, and do we have to go to K-Spec? I mean, they literally were terrified. They didn't want to go to K-Spec. They didn't want to see these other dancers. They didn't want to be around them, or they didn't want to be on the dance spot. It was starting to become that, and we saw the potential that they basically, in our opinions, were being bullied to quit our studio. But I was totally upset for these kids that were torn, and that showed me how much they loved Courtney, that they were just so heartbroken and upset that they would do that to Courtney, or that they would do that to what they loved, which was the dance spot. And we said, we are going to teach this intermediate team how to deal with bullying through the art of dance. And we told them that you are dancing this in redemption for what you have been put through, the pain that you're going through, the pain that Courtney had been through. And we didn't want that anymore. The song was about karma, or when you're pointing one finger at me, don't forget about the three that are pointing back at you. And talking about, you know, you need to watch what you say or how you treat people, because eventually karma will get you in the end. We knew we were not going to win that year. We knew that our dancers were not at the level that they needed to be for the Golden Cup. Of course, we always push and encourage the kids to do that, because we had to restart. We had to restart with all brand new kids. We only had a small core group of kids that were veterans. And it's really hard to take brand spanking new dancers and a core group of veterans that are really advanced and try to combine the two and make it something that would work for competing. And we knew that our goal was to recreate that team unity, because it was just faltering. I mean, it was crumbling from the left and the right, and for the senior team and the intermediates and the minis. I mean, we had to really reestablish who we were and get our reputation back, because it had been tarnished. And well, we created a dance that the kids were able to point in the audience and a particular, you'll see it in the routine. I'm gonna play it right now. So in this particular routine, you can see where the kids are actually physically pointing in a certain direction. Now we just had assumed, because this is kind of where they always would sit at competition, that they would be there. Well, ironically, God must have been on our side at that moment, but those particular kids that were in the conflict with our personal kids happened to be sitting in that corner when that happened. So when the kids were pointing in that direction, you can see it in their faces, and you can see the non-afraid, the fact that they had no fear anymore, that they were ready to tell them, no more. You're not gonna make me cry anymore. You're not gonna make me feel bad about being at the dance spot anymore. You're not gonna make me feel bad for loving and supporting Courtney anymore. And I'm not gonna let you bully me anymore into thinking that I chose the wrong path by staying with the dance spot. And for me, that was the best moment that we ever had at the dance spot. And not because we were trying to call anybody out or hurt anybody in particular. It was because we taught our children that dance can be used in a positive direction, and it made a positive impact on those kids. They don't have that fear anymore. They don't care anymore about this studio or who's dancing there. I mean, since that happened, the best thing that came out of that, just learning how to rise above. And that's what they did that season. And I'm extremely, extremely thankful to all the families and the dance kids that have fought for Courtney and continue to fight for her, and just believe in what we believe in the dance spot dream. In 2016, which is this season, we have completely let go of the old negativity and really refocused on getting back to the core of what dance is supposed to be, and working on technique and working on being dancers that are going to inspire through their performances and through the routines that we create. So we've got a couple social pieces that we're doing this year, which we've never done before, and we're excited about showing the world those. And I don't know, we started this YouTube channel, and this has been a really positive thing for us, is having people who are not necessarily a part of our dance family, but now our YouTube family, come along and support the kids. And I want to thank you guys that are like hardcore fans that have been sticking with us this whole time and constantly comment on every time we post up a new video. And you guys don't understand how much this YouTube channel means to these kids. They absolutely love it, being a part of our crazy journey. So are we gonna win this season? I really hope so. I'm hoping we'll win, but it's just been a great beginning. And best winter recital we've ever had this year, best summer camp we've ever had this year. Fall season was a little rough. We had a little patches here and there that we had to go through. We had to change up, some stuff along the way. But this whole mentality of Courtney just finally sticking to her guns and not worrying about losing kids over what her hardcore beliefs and philosophies are has really helped her a lot. Helped the studio a lot, I think. Are very thankful and feel very blessed for every season that God has given us, and the opportunities that we have been providing, and the fact that we can do it as a family. And I'm very excited about my new grandbaby that's coming, and I'm sure she'll be a dancer too. And it's just been a really great season so far. So just a few more weeks and you'll see us, and we'll know for sure. Is it our Golden Cup year or not? If you don't know what else to say, if you're stuck in a situation where you just can't figure out something to do, this is what you do. Get some, get some. Get some, get some, get some. Peace out, everybody. Happy New Year.